grandkids are going to take
Grandkids are gonna fuck.
I want to keep playing with this.
Yeah,
sure. A little more. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today, I'll be drinking from the Polar Bear Animation Nelvana mug. That's good. And we're back for another Monday morning stream. Welcome back. Last week we were off. We had the Thursday stream. That was fun. Little OCAF prep and successful. Well, I don't want to give it away. We'll be doing a whole OCAF recap over the course of this Monday morning stream. So thank you all for joining. And so we'll do a little recap presentation and then jump into a draw pile, just like we always do on these Monday mornings. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, welcome to the first thing in the morning live stream. They say the grass is greener on the other side, but how much greener can you get? All right, so upcoming streams for the rest of the month. Into May, not sure exactly what the schedule will be just yet. Still figuring it out. Kind of assessing how things are going and making adjustments and figuring out kind of what I want my approach to be going forward. My schedule is going to be changing a little bit too, so I will be thinking on that and keeping y'all posted. But as for the rest of the month, no Thursday work stream. Going to take a week off of doing one of those. But next Monday, I'll be coming back for another morning live stream. On that same week, I will be doing a Thursday stream, and that will be a sort of special Asanto promo edition. So Asanto, if you don't know, is the animation show and tell Ottawa. It's a local animation showcase that I organize with a few friends of mine at the Mayfair Theatre, and that'll be happening on May 7th. But April 16th is the day before the deadline for submissions, which is April 17th, the following day, the Friday. And so I figure most people who plan on submitting something will have either finished it or will be wrapping it up. In either case, they'll know that they're sending something in. So what I might be doing that day is having a few people on, maybe some people who have been a part of the show and tell in the past, sort of popping on, talking about their experience, talking about what they're working on now, giving maybe a sneak peek on what they're working on. And yeah, we'll just talk about the show and kind of build up some hype for it. And so that will be, I'll still have to figure out what I'm going to be working on that stream. I'm not making anything for the show and tell myself this year. I was busy working on the stuff I'm going to be talking about on this stream and the stuff I've been working on the Thursday streams. So I chose comics instead of animation. You know what? I'm going to talk about this more. I don't need to get into this right now. The point is, next Thursday we're going to be talking about the show and tell and getting all hyped up for that. So be sure to tune in for that. That should be a fun one. And then we'll finish off the month with another morning stream. And then at that point, I'm going to maybe take a week or so, or maybe take a bit of time off just while I'm doing show and tell stuff. And then take some time to figure out my new schedule going forward. And then I will be doing sort of what I talked about a couple of weeks ago, where I'm going to reformat my Instagram to sort of be the place that keeps you up to date on when I will be streaming. Since I've started this, but I guess it's been about 6 months so far. I've just been saying on stream when I'll be doing the next streams, and then posting a little day of notification on my Instagram stories. But I like to have a place where it's sort of like, like you can kind of see a couple days ahead just at a glance. Go to my Instagram, see my schedule. So, however I end up doing this going forward, that will be the way you'll be able to know what I'll be doing in the coming weeks. All right, got a few people in the chat. Kayla says, "I can't wait to hear about OCAF." Well, you're about to get your wish. And Art Frog is asleep, but he's sleeping on stream, so I like that. I appreciate the effort. All right, disclaimer. I'm just some guy. If you learn something, that's cool. I'm not claiming to have the answers. I'm going to tell you what I'm interested in, what I've been trying. It might not work for you. I don't even know if it works for me. But more times than not, this disclaimer is kind of irrelevant because I know this did work for me. Because it was a great event at OCAF, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this now. So this was this past Saturday. So OCAF this was the very first OCAF, by the way, and OCAF is the Ottawa Comics Arts Festival. So if you know about TCAF or MCAF in Montreal and Toronto, this is Ottawa's version, Ottawa's answer to those events. We need one of our own. We have a Comic-Con, we have fan events, we have anime events, that kind of stuff. But we've been lacking a sort of central, more artist-driven comics event. So it was high time we had one. And now we do, and this was the very first, and it was really exciting. So it was from just on Saturday from 10 to 3. There were about, I think, 42, I'm pretty sure about that number, 42 tables, wide variety of artists and publishers as well, but a lot of independent artists as well. And then there was panels and workshops. There was a panel and a workshop. It's really all the day and the space provided for. So there was a panel about making comics with 4 different people speaking on there. And then this great comic artist, Jesse, did a workshop on making comics. And it was free to attend and fun for all ages. Really, there was babies and all the way up to the elderly people were there. So all ages were represented, everything in between. It was a really fun community event. Oh, hey, May's in the chat. How's it going, May? So yeah, that's the basic info. As for myself, my involvement was I had a half a table with, we'll see. Not to get ahead of myself. I had half a table, and I was debuting 2 new zines. And I basically made this event my deadline for releasing them. So I had already made plans to make some micro shorts. But then I had this, it's sort of how I've been thinking about everything, about stacking effort and not wasting effort, even though there is no wasted effort. It's like making the most out of everything I do. And I thought, well, if I'm going to make micro shorts, then I'm going to make storyboards for them. And storyboards are basically comics. So what if I made comics as my storyboards, and then I could also, the comics could be their own thing. So this is what the genesis of this was, about these robot characters who are building something. And the original thought is I'm going to make these little shorts. But then I was like, oh, I like comics. I'm going to make the storyboards into comics as well. And then this event came up and I wanted to be a part of it. So that really aligned with my workflow, and also is the reason why I was focusing more on comics these couple months rather than animation, because I wanted to have things ready. I liked having a deadline to aim for. It's kind of ironic, actually, because the reason I didn't have something made for show and tell is because I was working on this. When I this is what a lot of people will say about the show and tell, is that for animation stuff, it gives them a good deadline to aim towards. But I chose this as my deadline. I chose this as my thing to focus on, and it was really cool because I've made comics before. I mean, I made comics all the time as a kid growing up, but I also had a web comic that I would put out every Friday through, I guess from 2013-ish to 2018, around there, those years. So it was really fun to get back to making comics. And I'd never... People would ask me, "Oh, are you going to print your comics and sell them at a con?" And honestly, like, not only was it kind of the furthest thing from my mind, it wasn't even something I was really... It didn't sound that interesting for me to do. At the time, I was really kind of excited at the idea that I could make a comic and put it out there, and immediately people would start like reading it and talking about it, and I'd, the potential to reach a large audience. That was sort of new and exciting to me. And I was like, at the time too, I was like, getting it printed, doing all that seems like a lot of work, a lot of investment. But I think more and more these days, the sort of premium on being out in the real world and having things that are tangible and having your work be something that facilitates you meeting people face to face. That is what sounds exciting to me right now. This was prep for next year's show and tell. That's right. May is asking, was it only comics or were there graphic novels, children books, and the like? Yep, there was all that and more. So there were zines of like, very DIY zines. There were comics, like single issue comics. There were graphic novels. There were children's books, and pretty much everything else kind of within that range. So it was very, very eclectic. I wish I could represent how eclectic it was, but I was pretty glued to my table and I wasn't able to even go around that much to take that many pictures. So I'm not going to be able to represent the full gamut of what was available there, but I can tell you about my experience. So here's me at my half table, sharing it with the great Dougal Dawson, my dear friend. So it was cool because we were both doing this for the first time, and it was fun to do that together. He was also debuting some really cool new stuff. He's got a great comic called 9G that sort of similarly to what I'm doing is a project that kind of exists in a sort of superposition between all the things we like to do. We both like to draw and animate and make music. So it kind of facilitates our interest in working in multiple mediums, but connecting it through similar stories and characters and worlds and a general aesthetic approach. So he had a bunch of cool stuff. He had you can check out more what he does at experimentalfarmworks.ca, which is kind of the umbrella term for all the stuff he does, the name he puts over top of it. And he's got some cool prints. I had some great t-shirts as well. So yeah, that was really cool to share a table with him. In addition to the zines, I created this. I got this little. I don't have it here, but you can see a picture of it. It's a little money bank. It's got a little little locker basically on the other side where you can open it and take the money out. But there's got a little place where you can put coins at the top. So I decorated that with some Sharpie markers to let people know that they can pay what they can in spare change, and I will make them one robot drawing. So I did a bunch of drawings for friends old and new. So I did a bunch of these throughout the day. And this was sort of partially the thought behind this was to have a backup plan in case I did run out of out of zines, I'd still have something to offer, which is good because I did sell out. So by 12:30, actually, I was all out of the zines I brought. Even though I was sure it would be a busy day, it's funny. I was the one telling the organizers to prepare for a busy day. That it was definitely going to be a successful event, and yet I only brought enough zines to sell out by 12:30. But I was erring on the side of selling out by the end of the day, and also I only had enough time to make about 20 or so of each. The process of making them was also was the big new part of it for me. Like I said, I've made comics, but I've never had them printed, and could be pretty costly to get them printed, and I have the means to print them at home, and that is significantly cheaper. It ends up being, I calculated it, it's like for 20 cents or something to print one, or something, like with the paper, maybe even less than that. And the printer I have at home, it's good. It's a bit slow. Maybe it will take like 15 minutes to print one, both sides. And then I don't have all the equipment or whatever to put them together. But luckily, I have a lot of friends who do this, so it's a good excuse to go over to friends' houses and use their equipment and hang out with them. If you were here on Thursday, you saw me over at Dennis's, and Dennis is in the chat. Hello, yeah, 12:30. Yeah, a little earlier than I wanted, but that's what it is. But yeah, Dennis had the means to cut them all down to size, because I print them 2 per page, and then my friend Bex was nice enough to lend me her stapler, so I was able to put them all together. Yeah, so I only really put the finishing touches on these literally a week ago on Monday. I was still finishing up the last one, Shadow Guillotine. Yeah. Art Frog is also saying Patreon reward robot drawings. Not a bad idea. Very much, actually, a great idea. I should just throw that in with the current Patreon tier. Anyone who's giving to the current Patreon tier, I could just do a robot drawing for once a month. I'm gonna do that. Good idea. So yeah, it was very cool to, obviously, like, it was a good problem to have, selling out too early. And like I said, I had the pay what you can robot drawing set up as a way of still engaging. And also I held on to, so these were the first copies I put together, and the stapling was a little funky. So I decided, okay, those will just be the reader copies. Those are the ones people can pick up and flip through. You can see they're pretty like flayed open at this point from people picking up and flipping, picking them up and flipping through them. And so throughout the rest of the day, I was still able to let people read the zines if they wanted and stick around and get a robot drawing. And then at the end of the day, when I decided I was going to close up shop, I was like, all right, the next person who comes by and shows an interest in these is going to get them for free. So I like that. It was cool doing this for the first time. I'm definitely going to do it again. I'll get to that in a bit, but just in general about the event, turnout was amazing. It was pretty much perfect for a first year event where we were just, like hovering around capacity, like threatening to get to capacity, but never quite hitting it. So there wasn't people having to wait outside, but there was always a healthy flow of people moving through the event, and also never felt claustrophobic. Everyone was super excited to be there, both artists and the people the artists and the people attending. People obviously, like, people were saying some really nice things about the zines, but also people were just gushing about the event in total. People were just coming by and be like, this is so cool. And it's funny because weirdly, even though Dougal and I, our table was kind of around the second bend, we ended up being a lot of people's like first stop, because people would kind of come in and then they'd want to clear the first area and kind of come around the corner, and then once they did that, we'd be sort of the first table they'd see. So I was getting a lot of people's first impressions, and it was really cool. And like first impressions, but then also people who would kind of start there and kind of come back around after they've done a lap. And people were just so excited that there was an event like this. And it's really, I really anticipated this, because I know for a fact that there's so much more of a arts scene, of an arts community, both people who want to make this stuff, but people who just love to appreciate, to read it and enjoy it. There's so much more of it than is currently being served. So, and there's a lot of people who say, oh, I wish Ottawa had more going on, but then there's some people who just don't even know to ask for it until they see it. And I think for both those people, it's really exciting to see something like this. The variety of artists, and I think my main takeaway from what people were talking about is saying how, it's cool that there's Comic-Con. There's one person in particular who was saying, like, it's great that there's Comic-Con and stuff, that we have that in the city, but this was a place for artists to really tell their own stories, and it's not as whatever corporate or commercial, that people can really be saying something personal and very authentic with their art in a more immediate way. And to have the wide variety of just styles, but also people who are doing it at a more DIY, low scale, indie way, and people who have published works and have more polished artwork and stuff, and just the range of that all sitting alongside each other, just the variety of stuff people are offering. Some people have comics, some people have apparel as well, and stickers and prints, all sorts of stuff. So it was really, really well curated. I want to tip my hat to all the organizers, to Dom and Dennis and Bex and Maddie for curating a great selection of artists, because that was one of the main reviews I heard, that people really were impressed by the variety. I also want to quickly show that I love this poster design by Ren. You can check out more of his work at Draw Monkey. Really thought this poster turned out great, and it was really cool that he had his originals, both the rough and the cleanup, for sale, which was really cool to see his process, and made me appreciate this poster even more. This is one of a few of the posters they made for it, but I like this one in particular. It's great that it was more artist focused than a Comic-Con, says May. Yeah, that was definitely what I kept hearing throughout the day. So to that end, OCAF will definitely be part of the Ottawa Arts and Culture calendar now for many, many years to come. And I'm really excited to see how it grows. I think the Glebe Community Center is a great venue for it now, and maybe even next year. But there's some thought about where it could end up, and how it could kind of expand while still retaining that artist focus. So if you want to keep up to date with them, there's the Ottawa Comics Festival website there. It's very easy, ottawacomicsfestival.com and Ottawa Comics Festival on Instagram. You can stay updated, so that next year you can catch it if you missed it this year. And then, who knows what other sort of satellite events, other comics related stuff. Obviously, I think there's one my takeaway from doing the show and tell is that there's such a demand for this stuff that I really feel like one event a year is like great as a sort of like kind of tent pole in the calendar, but it's really um, a sign that there's room in the calendar for more of this stuff, that people will come to it. So hopefully this will spring up other sort of comics related events. And I'm sure if that does happen, this, following Ottawa, OCAF will be a good like central hub where you can, that stuff will get signal boosted. The feedback has been amazing. I'm really excited to hear sort of more of the feedback that the organizers have been getting. Because during the day, people were there's no, like, people were like so happy. It was just like everyone was having a great time. And I really liked, it was like very family oriented too. Felt very community, the babies running around and stuff. And I love that stuff. It just didn't feel, like corporate or sanitized. It was just like a real proper like community event. And, I love that. Definitely need more of that. So yes, as I was saying, I've been bitten by the bug. Definitely going to be doing this again, and I was sort of taking mental notes of what worked this time, what didn't work. I think most of my takeaways are things that did work that I want to do again. I liked having the drop some change and I'll make you a drawing. It was a fun way of engaging with people and learning their names and asking a bit about them. I would say, "Oh, do you have a special request?" And that could, if they, they can kind of put a bit of their personality into the drawing. So that was fun. I like that. I also liked, as my personal approach to this, of having a very limited stock. Maybe not limited in the amount. I think now I know I should just err on the side of having more. I think like, I had to say, "Oh, I want to be able to sell all my stock and walk away with nothing left." And that was fine, but I think going forward, I'll err on the other side of having a stock that I could just like replenish between events, but still having more than I need. But I do like having the sort of focus of, it's almost like kind of like when an author releases like a new book or something, where I'm just sitting there with the thing I just put out, or things that are sort of relevant to that. So the robot zines, those are issue 1 and 2. I'll be doing 8 more of them. It'll be a 10-part series. And so I'd like to just keep doing events. And I guess the goal would be to, every time I do another event, I have the new issue. So if you like them, there's always a reason to come see me at the next event. But also I'll have the back issues as well. But just that being the thing I sell at my table. I also had some other thoughts of selling other stuff that's directly related to that. One plan I had for this event that I didn't get around to was I was going to make stencils of the robots, and this was sort of my idea to do stickers without doing stickers. So I wanted to do stickers, but I wanted to have something that's like stickers, but maybe a bit different. I thought, that'd be cool to have like a stencil where you could like put it on whatever and then paint, or whatever medium you want to use, paint the robot. You could slap my little robot characters onto whatever. So I'd still like to do that. And then I also had an idea for a little, not necessarily a board game, but like a little pocket game, like a little paper with a little, it's like almost like a creativity prompt game where like the robots, you are in like the robot lab and you like invent something, but it's just a way of like, it's almost like prompting you like almost like a word generator to combine ideas and then come up with an invention that you then have to just either write about it in your journal, or you have to like pitch your invention to your friends or something. But so having a couple things to sell, and that are all sort of but related to the same project. And then OCAF 2030, the robot omnibus collection. Yes, that's right. Yeah, it'll be a giant zine. It'll always be in zine form. I'll have to get an industrial size stapler by then. Hey, met you at OCAF. Your work is so cool. I'm so excited for what you do next. Thank you so much, Tyler. That's really awesome. I'm glad you found the stream. Um, yeah. Oh yeah. I think I do remember meeting you at the festival. Yeah. That was yeah, it was a great time and great to connect with people. So glad you liked the zines. There is more to come. Hopefully sooner than later. Like I said, I've been bitten by the bug, so I'm going to be lurking on the internet trying to find more zine events. And like I said, for each one, I'm going to try to have something new ready to go for it. I've got the next couple. I'm looking around right now for my notebook. I don't think it's near me, but I have the next couple of issues in that first writing stage. So I've got things in the hopper ready to go. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I've got to say about my my time at OCAF this year. But it was great, and I'm already super hyped for next year. And yeah, thanks again for everyone who stopped by the table and bought zines, got a drawing, or just said they liked it. It's all it was all very a very encouraging first outing for me. I knew the event would be a hit, but it's always nice to hear that that people are appreciating your work. It makes you kind of gives you that charge to keep doing it. Yeah, because I was like talking about this with Dennis. I'm not sure if this was on stream or not, but just about making art is fun, but art is a communication tool, right? So to get that affirmation that people are understand what you're putting down and enjoying it is really kind of that thing that makes it kind of renews the cycle. It makes you're like, okay, yes, so I'm going to keep doing this. So yeah, the more places we have for that to happen, the better. I'm kind of wrapped around here. How can I? There we go. So, yeah, speaking about drawing and connecting with people, let's connect and draw in Drawpile. So I've already got the Drawpile set up here. I just have to open the session. So if you are new here, I'm just going to set this up. Host, connect without account. Okay. Copy invite link. Here, I'll just grab it from here. So this is sort of a virtual canvas here that once I post the link in the chat, so I posted the link. I'll just pin that. Oh. I'll pin that to the top. Dennis says, I love when people allow themselves to be communicated with by me. Yes. I'll be in the draw pile after finish my delicious bagel. Fair enough. Yeah, so there you go. That link is there, and the instructions about how to use that link are just above my window here on screen. So you download the app. It's a desktop application that you can download, and when you open it on your computer, you can go to session, you go to join, you copy and paste that link, and then you'll be dropped in to the draw pile. And the software itself is pretty simple. It's kind of like got MS Paint vibes, and you can just start doodling away. I think I've got my music piped in. I'm gonna make sure is the volume okay. It's a little loudish. I'm gonna lower it a bit on the stream, but also lower it a bit for myself. Maybe a little bit more for myself. And anyway, hopefully the balance there is all right. It's just nice to have something in the background, so I'm not always having to fill the air. But yeah, draw pile is open. I'm trying to get my chair over the carpet. There we go. So yeah, one thing that's been really fun. It's fun when you do stuff like this for the first time, and there's those moments where you're like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Where people would post their hauls from the event, and my stuff would be in there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Like I love posting my haul at the end of an event, at the end of like TCAF and stuff. I always find that really fun to lay everything out and tag everyone. So yeah, it was like cool. I'm like, "Oh, I'm part of people's hauls now." So that was really, I found that really exciting for some reason. I might need a new, where's my, might need to replace the nub on my Cintiq pen. Give me a sec. I don't know where the little holder is. It was on the floor. Dennis says, I gotta post my haul. I got so much stuff. Yeah, people were, in general, in a very generous... Well, I think people were just excited about the event and just wanted to just get as much stuff as possible. Because, yeah, a lot of the hauls I've been seeing were pretty huge. My friend Christy got, like... she had to break it up into 3 images. I mean, she's a big TCAF fan. So I think, yeah, she was particularly excited to have a local version of that. But yeah, it was really cool. Like, people were getting all sorts of stuff. Everyone who was like coming by my table had a big load of prints and books and stickers. Be right there, says Art Frog. I don't want to use pure black. nice. We got May in the draw pile. And we got our frog. We're cooking now. We're cooking now. And we've got, I think, a stranger. Sometimes you get those in the draw pile. I want to keep playing with this. Yeah, a little more. We got a frog. Ribbit, ribbit. We got a guy's face. We got the face of a guy. Dennis. Dennis in the draw pile. white square is watching. Cool. Draw pile is also a spectator sport. It was pretty funny at OCAF. A couple of my students, actually quite a few of my students, five of them came by. Not all at once, but throughout the day. And one of them was like, "Oh, it's so cool that our professors do art too." And I thought that was very funny, but also it signaled to me that I had been successful in my goal of not being perceived as a full entity to my students. It's like that version of like running into your teacher at the grocery store. It's like, what? They require food? So I was like, yep, I don't just tell you to do it. I try to do it myself. We're all in this together. Good morning, everybody, says Jesse. You gonna join the draw pile? There's still time. Still got a good half hour on this thing. Groovy tunes, thank you. I love that last one. That was from one of, well, all these are from sessions that me and Dougal playing together. But that one I love, and a little sneak preview because we're going to use that one. The plan is anyway to use that one for the Animation Festival sponsor reel this year. So yeah, Dougal and I did the sponsor reel music for last year, and immediately had plans to do something for the next year. But that one just kind of emerged. We were just playing, and it wasn't until kind of after the fact I was like, "Ooh, that's what we should use for it." It's got a good energy. Speaking of which, we'll probably have some new stuff recorded soon. We're gonna get back into that. We've both been busy with OCAF prep stuff, but gonna get back into regularly making tunes, which I'm very excited about. That was another thing I had thoughts and hopes to have done for OCAF, but didn't have time. I wanted to put together like a little mixtape of music and stuff that's inspiring me. Like a tape of stuff that's inspired me, along with some stuff that I made, some stuff that me and Dougal have done, as a sort of audio snapshot of where my head's at these days. So that's still something I want to do. It's just a matter of finding the time. Sometimes to get inspired to work on the zine stuff, I'll crack open GarageBand and just start making some music. Some of that ends up on these streams. Make some music that kind of puts me in the headspace of the robots. So, in the interest of making something out of everything I do, I figure why not share that with other people as well. Also playing with this kind of an old way of drawing that I used to do a lot more of way back in the day. Like I feel like even before I went to animation and took animation in college, like this specific way I'm drawing now used to be like sort of my MO, or like a kind of process or style I was developing, and I don't know, I've stumbled back into it and I'm finding it very fun. It's a way of like sort of kind of adding more detail or like more labor to a drawing in a way that still feels good to me, because there's a part of me I like sometimes rendering and adding detail and shading and stuff. I can find enjoyment in that, but it's not my favorite thing to do. And I find my most natural tendency is to draw quick and simply. I just want it to feel fun. But this is a way of kind of embellishing or adding detail that I find more satisfying. So it's been cool to sort of tap back into that. And I don't know, maybe develop it further than I did before. Patreon reward mixtapes. Everything is Patreon reward now. Jesse says, "Oh my god, that's awesome." Not sure what that was referring to, but I'm sure it was pretty awesome. Oh wow, this is cool. This reminds me of something that could have been in Gandahar. Very 70s, 80s science fiction. Jesse, I was referring to your musical ventures. Okay, right, the mixtapes, yeah. Thank you. Dennis, that's exactly. This is me drawing a robot. Right, those the people who don't use robots but instead use kind of strange alien creatures, like the whatever those birds were called in Gandahar that have one eye. I like that approach to futuristic stuff when it's like, oh, they're like the advanced society, they don't create technology like machines. They are able to tap into the natural world instead of inventing new machines. I find that's a cool approach. Organic tech vibes, yeah. Les oiseaux miroirs, right? The mirror birds. Yeah, Gandahar is a really cool French animated movie that Dennis and I watched as part of our OCAF cool down. And I had never even heard of it before, but it was really cool. I really liked it. Pretty hard to explain. It was very like Mobius inspired. I think Mobius might have probably worked on it, but it's the same director as Fantastic Planet and the Masters of Time, I think is the English title for it, which I also haven't seen that. Also, after stream last Thursday, we watched Son of the White Mare, which I had never seen, but is now one of my favorite animated films. And has kicked off. I was talking about it with a friend, and she was referring me to some further reading about Hungarian animation. So, cue my next obsession. That might show up in a future stream. Because, yeah, really mind-blowingly, like, really singular stuff. Like, Son of the White Mare is, like, it's unlike anything. I mean, I feel like I pride myself on having a pretty wide vocabulary for cinema and for animation. And I was just completely, I don't know, man, like, spellbound by what I was watching. I felt like every cut revealed a bunch of new like, it was speaking, like, I mean, it definitely was in a language I didn't know. It was in Hungarian, but even visually, there wasn't any clear, like, reference point I had for sort of the visual motifs they were using. Yet I found it made a sort of intuitive sense. The way my friend put it, she's like, it's like it came from the center of the earth. And that totally, there's this, like, physical, intuitive feeling to how some of this imagery that feels pretty abstract, but I don't know, it just conveys, it's never confusing is the thing, even if it is sort of mystifying. And it was really cool. It's something I definitely want to revisit and get to know better and see more of this guy's films. Everyone watch Gandahar, Son of White Mare, if you missed the name. Yeah, Son of the White Mare. Dennis's favorite film, and definitely now one of mine. Son of the White Mare, directed by, what's his name? Looking up his name right now. Marcel Yankovic. We also watched a couple of his short films, which are also just, like, classic animated short. Like, they're so good. And it's cool that you can explore film and animation so much and still find that there's still so much you have yet to see. Still so much to learn. It's like never ending. And I'd heard of Son of the White Mare before. I'd heard about it maybe a few years ago. I think they did, like, a theatrical re-release of it for, like, a restoration. I think it was, like, not widely available in North America until then. And so over the past few years, I've kind of seen it. That's, how I've heard about it. It's through that expanded release. Sort of, it's been rediscovered. And I think Eternal Family, the streaming service, I think they featured it. They're always putting up cool stuff. That's when I'm like, I should just get a subscription to that. I got a 1-week trial once and saw some really, really cool stuff on there. So speaking about discovering stuff you didn't know about, it seems like Eternal Family is a place that really facilitates that. Even just following their Instagram is really just cool to see the stuff they preview on there. They were just posting the other day about a Prit Parn film that I hadn't seen, but I really, really want to check it out. Prit Parn, an Estonian animator who I've seen a few shorts from, but haven't really fully explored the catalog. But I think they have a lot of it on that streaming service. What was the film was a little bit more. I think it was like more recent. Night of the Carrots. Yeah, this looks really crazy. I'm gonna post the link in the chat. So yeah, it's I guess a 30-minute short. Not that short, but ooh, I like this. Nice cat witch. Oh, this looks sick. I love the colors. Oh, nice. Very nice, May. This is a good collection here. Oops. I think I have time for one more drawing. Yeah. Whoa. That's cool. Take a little story, take a little capture of this. Nice. It's a good one. May, is this one of your characters, or is this a character from something? It's random. This is a new character. Isn't existing either by your creation or anyone else's. We're watching the birth of a new character. I guess a lot of these are. I mean, I don't know who any of these people are either. Or this beautiful wizard or witch cat. This guy, I feel like, is this from Chrono Trigger? I don't know Chrono Trigger super well, but that seems like the guy from Chrono Trigger. Frog is his name. Oh yes, it is him. I saw the image you're pulling from. This one just for you, baby. Nice. I appreciate it. This is charming. You should I think you should color this guy. I mean, not right now because I'm going to end the stream in 4 minutes, but this is very cute. This guy would have a fan base faux show. So would this guy. Look at that. Effects. drawing it in my style. Yeah. Spencer, before leaving, can you tell us what you are teaching? Yeah, I'm teaching in the illustration and concept art program right now. RIP, I guess. I don't know. It's canceled, but I'm still teaching it, and it'll still run a little longer before it closes up shop. And I'm teaching a class called Game Ideation, but really, I don't know, incorporates a lot more than just that. So they did do a board game for their first assignment where they created the assets for a board game, the board, the cards, the pieces, and stuff. So it's basically just different illustration and design assignments, sort of geared towards different sort of contracts you might get in your career, where you're asked to either work with it within someone else's style or do your style but within certain constraints. And so we're on our final assignment now, which is they're revisiting the board game assignment and doing an animatic. That'll be a short advertisement for their board game. So yeah, it's been really fun. I enjoy teaching, and ideally teaching would sort of be like, I'd love to just be part-time teaching as like an ongoing part of my career, I guess. I like the idea of, I find teaching kind of like helps, like by teaching stuff, it helps you kind of understand your own process and your own knowledge base, because you have to kind of reconnect with that beginner mindset a lot more often, because you have to make it make sense to people who don't know all the things you know. And I find that's also very kind of illuminating just for my own artistic practice. So I really get a lot out of teaching, and from the point of view of the students too, I don't know. I appreciate the idea of like the teacher being someone who's continuing to make art themselves, and I like the idea of part-time teaching because teaching takes up a lot of thought and time and effort, and so it sort of ends up meaning that if you are teaching full-time, you're not really doing stuff as much because you're spending all that time grading and whatnot. And I like the idea that I'm trying to find a good color for this cat. That teaching is like part of what you do, and it kind of sucks the idea that you do your whole career and then you retire into being a teacher, and you just kind of, I don't find that's good for the people you're teaching or for yourself. I think there's a nice cycle to doing and teaching, and the teaching informs the doing. That's too bad they're canceling it. Yeah, I mean, it's part of a bigger picture of what's going on with post-secondary education in the province. So, unfortunately, we were we were downwind of all that stuff. So, but there's always going to be new opportunities for teaching and mentorship. There's always going to be a demand for that stuff. People want to know how to take their skills and apply them to a professional level, and there are people who are willing to share their knowledge. So as long as those things are true, I think they will emerge new opportunities for both sides of that equation to sort of find each other. Through like workshops or smaller classes, and I actually think like there's an opportunity there to provide kind of a potentially a better end product for people who want to learn. Because yeah, I mean, right now, like the college system, like it's great, it has a lot of resources, and it can provide a living for people who want to teach, and it's like kind of like stable and secure, which is very good, obviously. But class sizes get pretty big, and it's difficult to give everyone the sort of hands-on mentorship that they might want out of an arts education. And I mean, it's truer in some places than others, but inevitably, sometimes it ends up feeling sometimes like you want to be able to give more, but you have to be able to provide the same level of feedback and education for everyone in your class, and you're only one person. So I think a smaller scale apprenticeship model might be part of what ends up emerging out of like arts educators being sort of shaken loose from the current post-secondary system. I think that could have a lot of good things could come from that, I think. So remains to be seen, but I know some people even here in the city who are already kind of ready to meet that demand. I'll always shout them out. The Urban Art Collective, they've just expanded into a new space, and they are providing space to run art workshops, and yeah, it's really cool. So I think for the people who want to find that stuff, they'll seek it out, and they'll find the places that are doing it. So not ideal, but I'm optimistic regardless. Like good stuff can come from that. I hoard my knowledge like a dragon. Yes. All right. I just wanted enough time to try out some colors on this cat because I was very charmed by the design. Ooh, I like. Yeah, that's awesome. I like yours, Dennis. Oh no, there's some sort of mark on mine. Oh, I think maybe someone else made a mark on my cat. Oh, there, it's gone. Let's try that again. Cool. I'm gonna make another story just featuring zeroing in on this cat. Didn't mean to. I'm on a different layer now. That was the important. Oh, missed a spot. Missed a spot. All right. Oh, missed another spot. Okay. I think I have the perfect song for this. Perfect. Dennis just commented on the story. The glare from your light works as part of my drawing effects. That's good because I find it kind of annoying. So I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad it worked for you. DTIYS on stream is fun. DTIYS. What does that mean? Yeah, I only had 2 minutes. Yeah, I definitely went over length today because I just got too inspired by this cat. And now I need to extend it further to know what DTIYS means. Draw this in your style. Right. Like I said, I just didn't know the acronym, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, draw this in your style. Yeah, that's a good that could be a fun like kind of direction or theme to do for a stream. Someone supplies a drawing and everyone draws it. That'd be fun. Cool. I love this. I really like it. This is a fun one. Cool. I'm gonna save that. I'll do that off stream. You don't need to watch me do that. I'll just wrap it up because I do need to run now. But yeah, thank you everyone. That was a great draw pile. Really great way to start the week. Need more time looking at your social media orb. Thanks for this session, Spencer. I was gloomy today without a job and all that. I mean, May, that was like part of the impetus to do this. I started this when my contract ended in October, and for myself, it's just been a way to like ensure that, you don't kind of go, oh, well, there's no particular reason for me to wake up early on a Monday, without, the pressure of a job. But that can kind of, I don't know, eat into the sort of, your motivation and your, just have that momentum kind of drain away. And I don't know, I find that's kind of a shame that it's like, oh, like it's only when you're locked into a contract that you have that it kind of solidifies that discipline, when you can just kind of cultivate that for yourself and use the time between jobs to apply that same sort of a disciplined approach to your own projects, your own work, and just kind of work for yourself. Because I think it's it's kind of that trap of when you have a job, you're thinking about, oh, if I didn't have to have this job, all the projects I'd be working on. But then the second you have the free time, you're then just listless or worried about finding the next job, which, look, I totally understand. Like, it's, we rely on job to live, unfortunately. But I think there's a balance too. And even regardless of whether you're still actively looking for work or you're dedicating some of that time to work on your own projects, I think, I don't know, keeping a routine for me has been so essential to overall health and mental health, because really, more than anything, like, I find consistency, no matter what you're doing, is important. So I figure, look, I was waking up early on Mondays and going to work. I'm just going to keep doing that and just going to change what the work is. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it for that reason, especially across those winter months, when it's easy to sort of withdraw and sleep all day. The temptation is always there. So I like doing this on live stream because it sort of gives me an accountability buddy or accountability buddies, people that I can do that with and start the week off with some nice, just doing some fun drawings with friends and get that little boost of inspiration. So I appreciate everyone who has been joining me on the Monday morning streams, and I will be back next week and the week after. So there'll be Monday morning streams, I guess, every day every Monday this month. I don't see any gaps necessarily. At least for the next next two there will be, and so I'll keep you posted. All right. Have a great week, everyone.